This is week number 1 and day 2. So in today's episode, we are still following up on our chicks. And what's important right now is their feed, how they consume and convert the feed. So the feeders are quite empty at this point in time, and I'm about to start pouring in the feed. So the feed is mostly, it's not pellets, it's powder, if I would put it that way. Why it's powder? Because at this tender age, their bodies have not adjusted to strict or hard solids. So that is why it's advised that your grower feed needs to be, or your starter feed needs to be in powder or grounded form. I'm just checking on the stress pack, the water. So I think why I put 2 here is just to monitor which or how these chicks are drinking water and consuming the feed. And as you can see, the one in the far back has more consumption. I think it's also because it's close to the heat, and as a result the chicks gravitate to that. However, it's also advised that you should keep your chicks in a dark room because the darkness basically promotes more growth. So what I did was open for sunlight for more warmth in the coop, but that's all up to you. But it is advisable that you keep your rooms dark because the darkness promotes more. Another thing to mention is that I'm using a heater basically because I don't have like the UV infrared lights, so I use a heater and I keep the room closed just to regulate at least a temperature of around 32 degrees, especially at this tender age. When they're still growing, they need as much warmth so that they can convert the starter feed that will enable them to be ready for the grower feed. And right here we have a casualty, not even a casualty, that one died on the second day basically, so it didn't even last 24 hours. And I think it's because, you know, some chicks relatively they come small, they hatch small, and they're not strong enough to face the new environment and the challenges. So I had one mortality, and it's not bad considering we have 100 chicks here, and we will monitor from there how chicks develop and grow. What I like is how inquisitive these chicks are. So I put the camera eye level to them and they keep approaching it, wondering, what is this? What is this light? What's happening? What's the screen for? And that just goes to show how smart and inquisitive these chickens are. So the procedure each and every day is to ensure that they have clean drinking water. The room temperature is well warm, around 32 degrees or so, and there's enough fresh air to circulate around because we don't want chicks to have any respiratory problems like lungs, and, you know, because everything from this phase affects their growth. So if it's not done right, in the next 42 days, everything else will be wrong. Gem, cold chicks eat less and not more. Why? Because poor temperature equals to poor feed conversion. So when chicks are cold, they are more prone to eat less because they're trying to conserve all the energy and the growth, or all the energy for its growth and preservation of its life. So cold chicks eat less, and poor temperature equals to poor feed conversion. The feed won't turn into starter, won't enable them to grow, won't enable them to be strong and healthy. I have a daily checklist that I've put in the description for you to download for free. Monitor and track the progress of your day 1 to day 42 of your chicks to broilers. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this insightful. See you in the next video.